So this is pretty much when Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 2 ends. With so many cliffhangers, we are going to need to discuss all of these before Season 3 comes out. Season 3 is going to have so much information, and it's going to be hectic. So, let's pause, and let's take a look at what we know, and a lot of plot holes that will be in Season 3 that hopefully will be resolved. Let's talk about these plot holes, shall we? So pretty much, we're going to talk about Cole and his mission with Master Wu in general. Because there's a lot to go over. Cole and the spirit of Master Wu, and Master Wu sending him off on a quest. In between, of course, this episode here to those mech pilot shorts didn't get any explanation, and the writers have suggested that we will definitely get an explanation down the line. Now, hopefully, whatever is going to happen is explored in at least Season 3, Part 2. I feel like this has to be something that's of importance, as Master Wu's ghost keeps appearing to at least Cole himself, and in many of Ninjago's episodes in prior seasons, Cole and Master Wu have obviously been a perfect pairing. So, seeing where obviously this stage goes for Cole as well, this will help obviously boost his character, but seeing where it goes next will be very interesting. Cole's arc is driven by many characters at this point, like the original ninjas. All character arcs is sort of being driven by everyone else. But I feel like Cole's strength here is, as a leader, amazing at this point. But you gotta give him a bit of a challenge. Maybe this Master Wu ghost and following it. Maybe there's something he hasn't told the ninja yet. Maybe he should tell them as soon as Season 3 Part 1's over. Because this is going to get hectic and interesting. So another thing that definitely needs to obviously be explored is the pod. Now, I do believe firmly that Season 3, if it's really based on Zane, which the leaks do show, this is definitely going to have some importance. However this was created, whoever this was from, has to be Pixel, right? That has to be a sentiment reason. We do, as we see Zane obviously pop out of it. Master Wu does make Kai and Nia follow them there. And there's so many clues on why it could have been Pixel. It couldn't have been someone that was using Zane for evil. We need to explain why Zane's in his Ninjago Dragons Rising suit. I feel like Zane's is much more easy to explain than Cole's. But we'll figure this out, and Zane hasn't had any software upgrades either, if you also remember, so hopefully we do get some explanation as well. Hopefully Ninjago Dragons Rising does discuss some of this, so I am definitely looking forward to what Season 3 will explore about this pod, and I definitely feel like it will 100% be in that season. I feel like this goes without saying. I feel like we should definitely, at some point in Season 3, find out more information, or at least wrap up the Lord Ras backstory arc, in a way, if you want to call a backstory an arc. I feel like we should just wrap it up fully. I feel like Part 2 of Season 2 gave us a bit about his tribe. I feel like we should go full circle somehow in Season 3, especially when we meet these Dragonian warriors, via Lord Ras when he meets them. Maybe he sees a similar connection that his tribe once had with him. I feel like it could wrap up a nice bow with this tribe of the Dragonian warriors that we've seen in the sets. But at the same time, I do want to see more of what Lord Ras's backstory was. And I know it might be a bit hard to juggle with definitely needing to do Jay's storyline and where his character is obviously going, which I'll speak about soon. But this is something that I feel that needs to obviously have more answer and more depth, obviously, in Season 3. Especially, we don't know of anything that's going to happen to Lord Ras after Season 3 Part 1. It'd be interesting to see maybe if he takes a step back. Maybe even finding out who his master is at the end of Season 3 Part 1. And Lord Ras is just missing in Season 3 Part 2. And then it just gets expanded from there. Later on, Lord Ras might get a huge villain arc. Or maybe Lord Ras just gets poofed out and his master takes full control. Who's to say? But yeah, I feel like Lord Ras needs a bit more past information, a bit more of his backstory, and then sort of complete his arc fully as a villain as quick as possible in season 3, and then get on to him turning Eren to the evil side, and then finding out more about his master, of course. So yeah. Similar to what we said about Lord Ras, I feel like the arc for Jay needs to come to an end in season 3. Not completely, it just needs to start closing. Things such as what happened to Jay after the merge needs to be periodically explained. The administration needs an explanation as well, but I'm not tying it into this part because this part's about Jay. Next part, we'll talk about the administration. But Jay, we need to fully understand the whole purpose of what happened to him in his mech, where the mech went, and why he is not coming to terms with memories and remembering the ninja. I do think, significantly, Season 3, Part 1 should bring Jay to terms by the start to the end of what's going on. When we last saw Jay, he left the Source Tournament. So maybe make him start remembering stuff. From the Tournament of Elements, he competed. He had to fight his best friend. Now, do I think Jay's soul's fully shattered? Not entirely. I don't think he's spent much time with Lord Ras. And I feel like that's something that should have also been explained in Part 2. So, as you can see, there's a lot of nitpicks a lot of fans have that you need to answer in Part 1 of Season 3. Now, what a lot of YouTubers have even stated, and instead, something they like to see, especially in Season 3, Part 1, is have a 10-episode arc for Jay. Let the story take Jay from evil, to finding himself. I feel like that would work perfectly. My opinion is, next year we're supposed to get shorts, right? Why not just make them about Jay? I feel like Jay hasn't got much screen time at all in Dragon's Rising, periodically, but having a short where maybe we see some recap events. Maybe the first short is Jay and his mech. And then maybe we see him get to the administration just say, "You've lost your memory, would you like a fresh start?" And Jay's like, yeah. He remembers stuff about his parents and all that stuff, but he can't remember the events of Master Spinjitzu up to Crystallize, and he starts, to the merge, and he can't remember anything. Maybe we get to see him have a bit of an interaction with the Master of Spirit, and the last shot can be Lord Ras recruiting him, and maybe have an explanation to say, yeah, Jay only trained with Lord Ras once and went straight to the Tournament of Sources. Or, the Tournament of Sources was the first time he wore the mask. Remember? That was same with Frack. So why keep doing that with Jay? I guess the easiest way for Lord Ras to say it as he could definitely shatter someone's soul in the ninja team and just have them betray them. Now, Jay, what I expect from Jay next season is to be on the ninja side at least by end of season 3. Not exactly that quick, but I do expect him to have a lot of screen time next season. If not, I don't know what they're exactly doing with Jay's character. I think the battle in season 2 was really, really well done. And I feel if they want to keep improving, they need to improve the character and keep going with the story, not taking a huge break and only having him as a cameo. I feel like that's a waste of a thing, of a character. And I want to see Jay with his powers, obviously, so give us that. So before we discussed about Zane and how he was trapped in that pod under Imperium. Now, a better question here is, why is the administration so careful and wanting to get Zane back into the administration? What is the reasoning? We got something in Season 2, Part 1, which, in all honesty, I found very interesting, and it was our first look at Jay. Now, in all honesty, the administration's a bit confusing. They seem to be... Well, how do I put this? A community that is very transparent, has a lot of people in it, has a headmaster who hasn't been revealed as of yet. But Zane will be sort of a focused character. Well, they don't do that anymore. But
if season 2 part 1 was anything to go off of, Kai did get a bit of a spotlight in it, and we saw him grow over time, as well as the other characters. So definitely be on the lookout for Zane. So what could Zane possibly have to do with the administration, besides him leaving unexpectedly and breaking the codes for the portal gates? There's got to be more information, and we need to sort of actually resolve this, I think, by season 3. Now, I think we need to learn much more about the administration by the end of season 3, more or less. I feel like we do not know as much as we should know by the end of season 3, to be honest. I think 3 is into the show. I think like the administration seems to be important. I feel like the headmaster, if not revealed in part 2, should probably be revealed either in season 4 or 5. Similar to like what I said about Cole's storyline, it needs to develop over time. I feel like the administration is now going to be such a bold thing for 2 of our main ninja characters that they need to talk about it a lot more by the end of season 3, or realistically, it needs to be sort of finished by end of season 4, or by the start of season 4, because it's kind of annoying. We don't know much about it, but we do know that after Zane, and Zane's realistically done nothing wrong, and the community is very wild, has different people from different realms. It's like, were they here before? Probably not. There needs to be an explanation. Are all these guys brain dropped and all that stuff? Plus, the administration has obviously lots of detail on other realms, so why not expand it? Why not talk about it more? And it's just not just the context of the show. I'm talking about even the realms. If this is a known part of the merged lands, why hasn't it ever been explored? Why hasn't it ever been talked about? It's confusing like that. Now, obviously, Jay's a part of the administration arc too, and I feel like Jay will drop a lot of stuff, and hopefully in part 1. But if not, part 2 is gonna finalize that gap period, because there's a lot to talk about, but not enough to sort of contain. I'm hoping, because as of the time of recording this video, we haven't seen any leaks for the Ninjago Crossroads set, and I'm hoping that we do get a look and get a couple of administration minifigs. That's just my hopes and dreams, but I'm hoping the arc will end by the end of season 3, part 2, and I'm also hoping that we do not find out who the main top boss is at the administration till maybe season 4, even season 5, if they wanted to go ahead and drag it out that long. I'd be fine with that, as long as we get information about the administration, why they're so interested in the equipment Zane, why they took Jay in, obviously maybe knowing Jay was the lightning ninja who has saved Ninjago and several of the other realms time and time again, how that wouldn't be acknowledged. Maybe they can talk about Jay's wish with Nanakon and reversing time and the events then. Maybe something like that. It's only a theory, but I'll talk about that in another video. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Tell me what you guys want to see with the administration, because the administration is a huge topic to talk about when we don't know anything really about it.
So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, going over some plot holes that, or well, unanswered questions that haven't been obviously answered yet in Ninjago Dragons Rising, and a couple that I feel that should definitely be answered by season 3, or by the end of season 3, sorry. A couple of them has to be Jay and Zane storylines, at least by the end of part 2, should just be explained. Cole's, however, like I explained before, I don't really care if it doesn't get answered this season, because mainly Cole's quest, it feels something permanent, but I can see them sort of delving into it in part 2 of season 3. But I wouldn't mind if that's just a focus for season 4 itself. Season 3 is definitely going to be different to how season 2 was split up. Obviously, season 2 was split up in 2 different factions. It was learning the Rising Dragon technique to overcome Shadow Spin, then you had the Source Tournament. Pretty different storylines. But nonetheless, they did correlate at the end. We did get a bit of Jay. I feel like Jay's story, like I said before, explained before, it should just wrap sort of its small little evil arc up in season 3 and start getting him on the side of good by at least part 2. And if anything goes well from the leaked descriptions, hopefully that's the case.
But however, season 3 is going to look a bit like season 1, apparently, and Doc White has said that season 3 is his favorite season. So hopefully we see some of these plot holes obviously answered, but nonetheless, I do feel like season 3 is going to feel a bit like season 1. If anything goes off that, I really like season 1. I didn't feel like it was very repetitive. It was fresh, brand new ideas. Season 2, I liked part 1. Season 2, part 2, tournament style, kind of a letdown for me, but I still enjoyed it. I just feel season 3 has a lot of potential coming off season 2, especially part 2, has a lot more higher potential to answer questions that weren't answered properly in the tournament. And I just feel like there's a lot of story and a lot of characters that they just gotta explore and characterize by the end. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I feel like if you guys like this video, I will do a longer form. I will be doing a longer form video speaking about my thoughts on Mora's return. Hopefully by the end of the year, if not early January. I want to talk about what I feel about Mora's return. I'm very happy for his return, but I do want to see a couple of things obviously delved into where I want to see his character obviously go and what I want from Mora in Dragon's Rising, and hopefully they do this correctly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.